Yeah, done. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, I'm fine.
You gotta put your phone away, buddy. Well, good morning and welcome to the video. This week I am going to be taking you through 2 days of training, although wouldn't really call them training. It's my first bit of training since I got my wisdom teeth pulled on Tuesday, and I got sick on Tuesday too. But today is now Saturday, and I really haven't done anything up until today. But we have made it to the pool, so I'll show you guys what I do today, what I do tomorrow, kind of how I'm getting back into things, what I'm doing. You guys always see the big hero workouts, hero sessions, but I wanted to show you what some training looks like when I'm sick and still recovering from surgery. And then I'm also gonna be talking about a new podcast I'm thinking of starting called OverTraining. Just gonna be going over my weeks of training, but more on that later. Don't worry, the Try Hard podcast isn't going anywhere, but I just want to do like weekly recaps on the Overtraining podcast. But anyway, as I mentioned, today I'm just going to be taking you through workouts that I'm doing Saturday and Sunday. So we are currently at the pool waiting for a lane to open up. I've been here already for about an hour and a half though. Actually, I did a lactate test with my good friend Nolan on the treadmills upstairs, so I ran him through that, made a video which should be coming out next week, I think, or in the next, within the next week or so. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And now I'm just gonna hop in the pool. I don't know if I can hit 1,000 yards today, I'll be happy, but I wanted to get some sort of feel for the water back. As you guys can hear, I think I feel worse from the cold actually than I do from the wisdom teeth surgery. That's also why I look like the Michelin Man, or Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I feel incredibly bloated right now, but it is what it is. Anyway, I think the lane should be open up here shortly, and see what we end up doing. Well, we have made it home. The swim ended up actually going a little bit better than I thought it would go. We made it to 2,000 yards before we got kicked out by Aquafit. I was going to do 3,000, but it is what it is. Still felt weak. And the biggest difference I actually noticed was my shoulders just felt super wide. I'm not sure if that's from the weight I put on from the surgery or what, but it just felt super wide in the shoulders. But we got it done. Now I'm going to do some work. For those of you that are unaware, I am a coach with NVDM coaching. I do have a job. I have to make money somehow. Sometimes I like to joke around and say I don't really work or have a job, but currently I have around 30 or so athletes, and it definitely does take a good amount of time. So I try to check training peaks, respond to comments. I usually check it once right in the morning when I wake up. I'm always shocked, because I also check it right before I go to bed, which is usually around 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'm always shocked at how many athletes do workouts and leave comments from the time I go to bed to like when I wake up, which is like 6 in the morning. I always think no, I won't have any work to do, but I always get at least 10 to 15 comments to respond to over, over that period of time. But as I was saying, I usually check training peaks right when I wake up. Then after my first workout of the day, which is swimming, so I'll check it now, and then I check it usually after my bike or brick session, so around lunch. Then I'll check it right before, if I have a weightlifting session, then I'll check it right before I go lift weights, and then 1 or 2 more times before I go to bed. So yeah, I'm usually on Training Peaks, 5 to 7 times a day, and every time I go on, I usually spend at least 30 minutes, if not a little bit longer. So, yeah, as long as I stay on top of it, though, then it's not too bad. And I love what I do. So it's really, I don't really view it as work. I'm checking in, talking to athletes, responding to comments, questions, really any concerns they have, and I enjoy it. I love doing it. And so I am blessed that I am able to call it my job. If you're all looking for a coach, then yeah, let me know. I'll have my email in the description box. But anyway, I'm going to go do some work and then try to hop on the bike for a bit. Super easy though. I don't think I'll be pushing more than like 170 watts today, so it won't be super interesting. And then I think I'm also going to make a tutorial on how to join Zwift races, because I have quite a few athletes that I want to have them do Zwift races, and I just looked on YouTube and I couldn't find a good tutorial, so I thought might as well make one.
And you said, you won't see me again until I have something better to show. Indeed, I believe that. Deep down inside.
Well, the Saturday brick is done. Well, wouldn't you know it, we even managed a short little run. The ride went okay. Pretty much average 175 watts, -5 performance condition, which is kind of on par what I expected. But we averaged like a 120 heart rate, so not too bad. And just a 4-mile shuffle. Watch the new Lionel video. I was actually going to do 5 miles, but then I started chafing a little bit. I forgot to put body glide on, so decided to call it. I think tomorrow, though, we should be able to hit a 10K and get double digits on the week, which would be pretty stoked with that. But now I'm going to go shower and then film that Zwift video, do some work, eat some food. I think that's going to do it for today's training, though. Not too exciting, but hopefully tomorrow will be a bit more fun. We'll see. I may do some weights in the afternoon tomorrow if we're feeling decent, and definitely a longer swim, at least 3K. We'll make sure Aquafit doesn't kick us out. Well, good morning. It is Sunday today, around 9 a.m. We have already done some training today. Mom and I went to the pool. Mom, how'd it go? Good. Mom swam for a bit. I swam for a bit. Managed to do 4,400. So we hit 7K, I think, on the week. Not too bad. And then we stopped at a new bakery on the way home. Kind of on the way home. Kind of like Panera Bread, but French. It's called Paris Baguette. So we stopped there and got a baguette, since it's called Paris Baguette. And then we also got some other goodies. Let's see. I'll show you guys. I know the training isn't too interesting in this video, but hopefully the food will be a bit more interesting. So we got the baguette, and then we have this thing, which is a sweet potato pastry. I'll put it in there. And then we had to go with an almond croissant. And I think we have one more. Where's the last one? Here it is. This is a red bean bun, so we got a little variety of goodies. We'll do a review once we try them. But anyway, back to the training. I think I'll hop on the bike for a bit, at least an hour, maybe, probably a bit longer, 90 minutes to 2 hours today, and then a 10K run. And then, I want to talk about the podcast that I'm going to be starting, OverTraining. Pretty much what it's going to be, just a weekly thing, every Sunday night, hopefully. I am going to sit down in front of my computer and walk you guys through my week of training. So I'll literally go through every session. I love listening to different pros and whatnot talk about their weeks of training, and I know I'm not a pro, but some of the workouts I do I think are pretty fun, and you guys may find some interest in that. So that's pretty much what the podcast is going to be, me talking about my weeks of training. I will have the occasional guest on, just because my training will get it gets a little bit repetitive. Some of the sessions are, pretty similar week to week. So hopefully every once in a while I'll be able to bring on a guest and talk about their big weeks of training, whatever it may be. We'll see. And I'll always be talking about, obviously, the training leading up to the next race. And the goal is to do it every week. We'll see. So my next race will be Ironman Texas. So the training that you guys will be hearing about will be in prep for that. But that's going to be the goal of that podcast. As I mentioned, don't worry, the Try Hards isn't going anywhere. We're still going to be doing that with Sade and Mike. That's a lot of fun. So you guys will have now 2 podcasts to listen to from me. I'll play the first episode of the podcast at the end of this video, so you guys can let me know what you guys think, what you guys want to hear, and any feedback you have on it. And then if you guys enjoy it, if you think it's something you'll listen to, then I'll go ahead and I'll make the actual podcast, and I'll do a separate YouTube channel as well. That's also something I'm going to do. I'll use this nicer camera to record the podcast, so I'll set it up, and then you guys will be able to watch it on YouTube or listen to it when you're, cooking or training, whatever it may be. That's what I always do whenever I'm cooking or eating or driving or really anything. I'm listening to podcasts. So that's that. But now I'm gonna go do some work, eat some of the, let's see, my mom started. Eat some of the pastries we got. Are you trying one, Mom? Are you trying the baguette?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to let me know what you think.
That looks good. Bubbles.
Bubbles? That's good. Good sign. Anyway, I'm gonna check Training Peaks, do some work, hop on the bike, and then I will get back to you with my mom and I reviews on the pastries. We finished the 2-hour ride. Now we have a 10K run, but first we need some carbs. And well, wouldn't you know it, we stopped at a bakery today. So I think we're gonna go for the sweet potato one. Mom, you try a piece. See what Mom thinks. I think. You taste the sweet potato? No?
Like vanilla.
Vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't taste much. Yeah, I don't taste much sweet potato. I think my friend Nolan's here, the guy who did the lactate test. I'm borrowing his trainer right now because mine's a little MIA, and he has a Zwift one that comes with the cog and the clicker. And I'm borrowing it. Hey, thank you. Good. I'm filming a video. So this is the clicker. You want to close the door?
Yeah.
So you just connect it and then you shift.
Yeah,
It shifts
it's just shift up, shift down. It's pretty straightforward, and you just kind of latch it onto your handlebars and stuff.
Perfect. Thank
Yeah.
you. You want to try some? Have you seen that new bakery, French or Paris baguette?
I have
It opened on Roosevelt, I think. Is that what the road? Roosevelt. It opened up on Roosevelt. It's you can try one. So we have a sweet potato one. So this is a sweet potato one that doesn't really taste like sweet potato, and this is an almond one. Almond filled.
I'll take a little bit of the sweet potato.
You can be the. We tried it here.
It doesn't taste like something.
Yeah, we didn't taste much sweet potato. Let us know what you think. You run today?
Not yet. I'm headed to the gym right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd offer you to run on our treadmill, but you're a little tall.
Yeah, we found that out yesterday.
All right. Good carb load before the run. Look at how far are you going?
Oh, like an hour.
So like 10 miles.
No, probably 8.5.
There you go.
No, I'm not really tasting sweet potato.
Yeah, it's like a vanilla,
Tastes
right?
good.
Yeah. Yeah, no sweet potato. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Light, fluffy.
There you guys go. If you have a Paris baguette or Paris baguette near you, then check it out. But just don't expect sweet potato from the sweet potato. All right. And you want to knock out the run, and then we'll catch you guys later. Well, we are going to wrap up the video. We didn't really do much more training after Nolan left. Actually, no, we did. We went on a run on the treadmill downstairs, ran 7 miles, and then we went to the gym for a bit. But I'm going to finish this video with the first episode of the OverTraining podcast. If you guys like it and want to see more, then let me know, and we will continue doing it. Like I said, I'll go ahead and kickstart it and create the podcast and everything like that. I'll create a separate YouTube channel for it as well. But I think that's gonna do it. We hit the gym, just some full body stuff, nothing crazy. And I guess we will finish up this part of the video with a taste test of the almond croissant. We gotta keep the sesame bun in the wrapper. My mom's taking that in for lunch, but we will try this. Oh, this was also supposed to have an almond filling, wasn't it? I swear it said almond filling. I don't see any filling.
There are two fillings.
Yeah, this one and the sweet potato one didn't have filling. But it's pretty good. The outside of that is good. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Like I said, you guys always see the hero sessions. So this is what a week of training looks like when you're bouncing back from sickness and surgery. I don't always do 35-hour training weeks with 3,000 TSS, although those are fun. Hopefully soon. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and let me know what you guys think of the Overtraining podcast. We'll catch you in the next one. Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the Overtraining podcast. My name is Parker Kurth. I will be your primary host. Actually, I think I will be your only host for this podcast. And now, since you probably didn't listen or watch the podcast trailer, yes, this will be in video as well as audio form. If you want to watch these episodes, then you can head on over to the YouTube channel, which will be linked in the description box of this episode and every episode following this one. But as I was saying, as you probably didn't listen to the trailer because I don't think anyone listens or watches those, I guess I'll start off with a little bit of an introduction to myself and to the podcast, kind of the content you can expect going forward. So to kick things off, as I mentioned, my name is Parker Kurth. I am an elite team member and a full-time senior coach with NVDM Coaching. I've been doing that for full-time for about 2 years now. Before coaching in triathlon full-time, I was actually a software engineer at Garmin. I worked in the outdoor wearables department, primarily the Phoenix line of watches. So if you ever have any Garmin related questions, then you can drop a comment in the comments down below on YouTube or shoot me a direct message on Instagram. Speaking of which, social media, besides being a full-time triathlete and coach, I also have somewhat of a social media presence. I have an Instagram account, Parker Kurth. I'll have all these socials listed down below too, so if you want to check them out, then yeah, go check out the links. But as I was saying, I have an Instagram account. I also have a Strava account. That username changes pretty frequently depending on a lot of stuff. So I always change my Strava account name. And then what else do I have? I have 2 YouTube channels. My primary triathlon one is just called Parker Kurth, my name. However, I also have a second one that I do kind of just for fun. It's called Fast Foodies. I just do kind of fast food, snack reviews, ice cream reviews, cereal reviews. I actually started that one before I started the triathlon one. If you guys want to hear a story on that, then let me know and I'll tell you guys all about it. But along with those 2 YouTube channels, Instagram, Strava, I also have a separate podcast, the Tryhards podcast, which you guys should definitely check out. Don't worry, for those of you that listen to the Tryhards podcast, that one isn't going anywhere. I do that with my 2 great friends, Mike and Sade. We talk about triathlon stuff on there, training, races. We have guests come on there. It's a great time, so definitely check it out. I'll have that link down below. But that's pretty much all of the social media. Now you're probably asking yourself, Parker, you have all this social media, you already have a podcast, why are you starting another one? Why is it called Overtraining? Well, the reason why I'm starting a separate podcast is actually what has to do with what this podcast is going to be about. So my plan for this podcast is, hopefully, the plan is every Sunday night, I'm going to sit down in front of the camera. That's also kind of why I started this. I wanted another excuse to use my nice camera and microphone. I feel like a professional videographer. But as I was saying, every Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on how much training I have going on that weekend, I want to sit down in front of the camera, keep the episodes relatively short, so hopefully they'll be shorter than this one, although I didn't do too much training this week, so we'll see. But I want to sit down and literally pull up my training peaks and talk about my training. So I'll start on Monday of that week, and I'll literally go through every session. I love these kinds of podcast episodes on the different podcasts I listen to. You know, when they have guests come on or professional triathletes talk about their weeks of training. Now, I know I'm not a professional triathlete, and my numbers aren't going to be that impressive. However, I like listening to it, and, you know, if I were, you know, a young age grouper, maybe this would be something you'd find of interest. So that's kind of why I'm starting it. So I'm going to talk about my weeks of training, and I'll talk about kind of goals I have for upcoming races. And then I also want to talk about sauna battles. I've been getting lots of positive feedback on my sauna battles on my Strava and Instagram. I've been posting those, so I'll keep posting those. But if I have a very, you know, exciting battle during the week, then I'll make sure to bring that up on this podcast. Now, in terms of guests, I don't plan on having too many guests on, but occasionally I think I will bring someone on just to switch it up, because as you'll see here as these episodes, or as we continue to do these episodes, my training does get kind of repetitive. And that's something I've really found to be not really a secret, but I don't know, something I didn't expect in triathlon training. You know, I always thought that workouts, to be the best, you have to have these super crazy secretive sessions that no one can know about. You know, it has to be exactly 89.9% of FTP for 2 minutes and 33 seconds with 3 minutes and 2 seconds recovery at 43.4% FTP, and you have to do that 5.3 times, and you can only do that if your HRV is exactly 67 and your resting heart rate is at 38.5. It really isn't that complicated. You'll find here shortly that, you know, it really just does come down to the meat and potatoes and putting in the work. However, hopefully I'll be able to make it a little bit more exciting, and I do plan on sharing pretty much all the numbers. I don't like it when triathletes hide their numbers, and so I really don't want to do that. If there is anything specific you guys want to know about a specific workout, then yeah, drop a comment, go ahead, ask me, message me. I'm a pretty open book. I try to share everything on my Strava. Sometimes I forget to unhide it, but yeah, pretty much most of the key sessions on Strava, sometimes I just keep the easy volume hidden, but here on this podcast, I'll be an open book. I'll tell you guys everything. So I think that does it for an introduction. Mom, how'd I do?
I think very good.
Yeah? Yeah, maybe I'll bring my mom on too once she gets training for outdoor cross-country ski season. We just got a ski erg, and maybe my mom's going to start training on that. So maybe I can bring my mom on as a guest. She swam today. I'll bring her on as a special guest for this episode. How about that? Once I get to Sunday's training, we'll talk about your workout today. Yeah?
I can't talk as smooth as you. Need to practice.
This took me 10 takes to do, so hopefully the rest of the episode will go smoothly. But yeah, sponsors and whatnot. I probably won't play any ads unless I get super big and I can start making a lot of money. But you know, I have my team sponsors, Raw. You can use code NVDM to save on any Raw products. I'll have their website listed down below. That does help support me. Code Parker was taken, so I chose NVDM. So yes, that does help me and this podcast. I really do appreciate it. Then also Kelman, a new company I recently started working with. They make body wash, deodorant. We're also going to be coming out with Epsom salt bath bombs. I'm great friends with the owner, so we're trying to collaborate on new products. So you heard me, Epsom salt bath bombs. You can use code Parker to save on all Kelman products. We have a lot of interesting stuff coming in 2025, so make sure to check those out. But I think that's going to do it for the ad section of this episode for this podcast. Anyway, let's get into it. So, episode 1 kicking off. let's go pull up my training peaks and let's go to Monday. Now, this will be actually the first week of the year, not full week, but Monday of this week was December 30th. So I have Monday, December 30th pulled up. I should actually kind of backtrack to Sunday because Sunday we got back from Florida. We got in late. I didn't sleep well. I think my cousin, who was also in Florida, got myself and my grandma a bit sick. And then the travel and bad sleep, that just made everything worse. So I woke up Monday feeling pretty beat up. However, we had workouts on Training Peaks, so I was at least going to try them. The workout on Training Peaks was supposed to be a 4K recovery swim, the main set being a 30 by 100. And I did not do 4K. I ended up doing 400 yards. So I did 10% of the workout, a big fat yellow or orange to start off the week. I knew right when I got in that it was not going to happen. My form was off, and I knew I was going to be MIA for the rest of the week because I was getting my wisdom teeth pulled. And so motivation was already pretty low as it was. So I just called it. After 400 yards, I got out. I didn't even do the sauna that day. That shows you how unmotivated I was. So I got out after 5 minutes and 21 seconds, 400 yards. I guess, like I said, I'm going to be an open book. So average pace was, 120 per 100. It's actually not bad. Average heart rate was 105. I use the Form goggles with the heart rate, so it's usually pretty accurate. Then we had a 60-minute recovery spin to do on Monday. It went a little bit better than the swim, but not much. I ended up doing 20 minutes, actually 21 minutes and 8 seconds. My average power was 177 watts, and my average heart rate was 110. Let's see, I have comments. My comment was, oof, yeah, dealing with something, legs were toast. Some good news. Found a trainer I can use until mine comes, so we'll have access to TT bike once we get back into it. My trainer broke, so I bought a new trainer, but it's not going to come for a couple weeks. However, I'm borrowing my friend's trainer until then. But yeah, 21 minutes, 8 seconds, 7 miles, 7.69 miles, 10 TSS. So Monday didn't start off too well. And it didn't get much better the rest of the week. Tuesday, we didn't do anything because I got my wisdom teeth pulled. So I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and then, spent New Year's Eve laying in bed. I went to bed at 6 o'clock, and I slept terrible. I got like 4 hours of sleep. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, we also didn't do anything. I took another day off. Then moving on to Thursday, I attempted to ride my bike. I did 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh yeah, and also Wednesday was New Year's. So starting the new year off with a full rest day, which I don't think I have ever done. So that will be interesting to see how this year goes. Actually, I was watching it was on Instagram, and someone literally did a marathon starting at 12:01 a.m. on New Year's, so they could say they ran the first marathon of the year. Maybe next year that's something I do. Anyway, as I was saying, Thursday, which was January 2nd, I tried to hop on the bike. And we did 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Like I said, I'm going to be an open book. So average heart oh boy. Average heart rate was 118. Max was 130. And average power was 140. So I quickly saw that the bike wasn't going to happen. However, I felt semi-decent. A little bit better than the day before. So we went for a walk. And let's see, we walked for a lot. I forgot to start my watch right at the beginning. It's 2 miles. We do the same route whenever we walk. So I know it was 2 miles, but on Training Peaks, it's logged as 37 minutes, 29 seconds, 1.83 miles, 5 TSS. And I'm sure you guys are all dying to know my average heart rate was 71 and 116 for that. But I didn't wear a chest strap for the walk, so take that with a grain of salt. It might not be too accurate. Also, fun fact, I gained 10 pounds in 2 days from the surgery. Luckily, it's coming down. It's finally, it's Sunday today, so it's finally coming back off. But I felt like it was rough. Friday, we finally got moving. I thought about going to the pool, but I could tell that form was still going to be off, and
my form isn't good enough as it is, so why swim with even worse form? However, we got on the bike. We logged 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 44 seconds. Average heart rate was 111. Average power was 158. So that's all we did on Friday. Then Saturday, which was yesterday, we went to the pool. Swam. We actually ended up swimming 2,000 yards. I was going to do 2,200. I was planning on doing 3,000, but then we got kicked out by Aquafit. Average pace was 130. No real workout. My coach, Natasha, she's the owner of NVDM Coaching. She didn't load any workouts for me this week. She just told me to go off by feel. So that's what we did. Pretty much most of it was with fins or with paddles or kicking, lots of drills and whatnot, so nothing exciting. Average heart rate was 117, 32 minutes and 50 seconds for the 2,200 yard swim. And then we hopped on we did do the sauna. We did 25 minutes in the sauna, 25 minutes and 3 seconds. It wasn't that hot though yesterday. I do remember that. I was a little bit disappointed. Well, actually, it's kind of my fault. I didn't put the rags on the sensor to make it super hot. I did that on purpose, though, because I didn't want to overcook myself. However, I'm happy to report that I actually felt pretty good in the sauna. So 25 minutes, and my average heart rate was 65, and my max heart rate was 97. I do wear a chest strap in the sauna, so that is pretty darn accurate. I also wore the core body temp sensor. So 12 heart rate TSS, so pretty solid session there. No fun sauna stories. There's a bunch of new guys, actually. I was surprised. I didn't really know anyone. I did see Tea Tree Pete in the pool. You guys will come to learn all the sauna members during the course of this podcast. But yeah, Tea Tree Pete. I call him Tea Tree Pete because in the sauna, he always brings a little vial of tea tree oil. I forget why he does, though. I forget what he does with it. But yeah, Tea Tree Pete. And he swims all the time. He has these very distinct blue flippers. I actually saw him today in the pool, too. He's going to California, I believe, for 2 weeks, so I will be missing him in the sauna. But it was good to see him in the pool. He had a good set. Looked good. Anyway, and then we hopped on the bike for 1 hour and 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Average heart rate was 119. Power was 174, and I remember I had a -5 performance condition from Garmin. So, yeah. Then we ran 4 miles at what was the average pace? 8:51 average pace, so right around race pace, actually. Really happy with that. Ironman race pace, that is. Maybe a little faster than race pace. I think, a little bit faster than race pace, but heart rate was 121, so a bit high. Not too bad, though. And then I was actually going to do 5 miles, but I started chafing because I forgot to put Body Glide. This was on the treadmill. So we stopped at 4 miles. Plus, I think 5 miles on the first run back would have been a little bit much. Now, moving on to Sunday. Today, January 5th, we swam. Swam with my mom. Mom, do you want to come here? Talk about your swim? I swam 4,400 yards. Once again, similar to yesterday, lots of fins, kicking. Nothing too exciting. Mom, how's your swim? You can use the mic if you want to. You can speak into this.
My swim was good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah? How far did you swim?
70 laps.
70 laps, so what's... Hey Siri, what's 70 times 25?
1750.
1,750 yards my mom swam. Well, good job, man. That's more than a mile.
Yep.
That's 100 yards. A mile is 1,650. So you swam 100 yards more than a mile. There you go.
It's good.
Yeah, get in there. You swam freestyle too.
I did half freestyle, half breast.
There you go. I did notice though, my mom, I told her, she lifts both goggles out of the water when she breathes. She has to keep one eye in.
Working on it.
All right. We have to get her on the ski erg soon. My dad just bought that for a birthday gift. I think he's logged more time on it than she has. But we did not hit the sauna today because I felt bad to keep my mom waiting. And instead, we went to a French bakery called Paris Baguette. If you want to find out what we got, then check out my YouTube channel. My fitness one, actually. We do a little food review on my fitness one. And then what did we do after that? We got back. I did some work. Oh, also, I guess I'll do a quick little plug here for my own coaching. If you are looking for a triathlon coach or a strength coach, nutrition coach, whatever it may be, you just want someone to talk to, That's honestly what I feel like. I'm a therapist for most of my athletes. Go ahead and shoot me an email. I'll have my email listed in the description box below. It's just Parker@nvdmcoaching, or you can message me on any of my social media. I'd love to work with you. Probably, unless you're like Sade, then you may want to look for a different coach. Joking. Anyway, then we hopped on the bike. Did 2 hours today of 2 hours at a 181 average power. Would you look at that? We're almost up to FTP. 126 average heart rate. My best performance condition was -3, although it got down to -5, I think, by the end again. So a little bit better. But 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds, 181 average watts, 126 average beats per minute. And then we ran. I was only going to do 10K, but then I saw my athlete, Robert Carroll, did an hour, and I felt like I was undertraining. Oh, that brings up the point. Why is this podcast called Overtraining? I probably should have started with that. But a lot of people say I overtrain, and as you can clearly see by this week of training, I definitely do not overtrain. I've never done that before in my life, so it's kind of just sarcasm because we don't really overtrain here. Anyway, as I was saying, I was going to do 10K, but my athlete Rob ran an hour because his coach told him to, so I couldn't do less than my athletes. So I ran for 1 hour and 1 second. We ran 7.05 miles at an average heart rate of 131 and an average pace of 831. So now we're hitting 70.3 race pace. We're getting pretty quick. And then we went to the gym and we did some strength training for about half hour. I did 2 sets of 8 to 12 reps for every body part. Met a guy that I see there all the time. What was his name? I'm the worst with names. I always ask for people. That's why I come up with these gimmicks or these knickknacks for names, you know? Like Eric or Pete. No, not Pete. I think it was Eric. I'm almost positive it was Eric. But I see him there all the time. I finally introduced myself. So I met him, and then I met another young kid who asked if I did Ironmans, probably because of my Ironman tattoo. I'm very serious. I even have a tattoo to prove it. So, yeah, I got the M dot on my calf. But, yeah, he asked if I did Ironmans. I said, yeah, I do them every now and then. And I told him to watch my YouTube channel. So hopefully I got another subscriber. And now I am actually... I did this before. I'm filming this before the final session of the day. But every Sunday night, my favorite session of the entire week is spending time in the yard. So I'm about to go do that. For those of you that are not sure what spending time in the yard is, I guess you'll find out next week. So that'll be your little carrot to hit that subscribe and follow button. If you enjoyed this week's episode, then I would truly appreciate it if you could give this a 5-star review. That helps get this podcast out there, helps the algorithm. If there's anything specific you want to see from me, then like I said, message me, comment, whatever you want to do, get my attention, and I'll try my best to do that. And yeah, I think that's going to do it. No, like I said, no fun sauna battles, nothing else. I don't know. Mom, did I talk about everything you think?
Didn't talk much about overtraining.
That's because I don't overtrain. That's the joke. We don't do overtraining. Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully the rest of the year will be better. This will probably be. It's kind of funny that the first week of training of the year will probably be my worst week of training. I guess I'll do like overall stats for the week. I can do that. So with the 40 minutes of yard time I will have spent, I will be at 10 hours and 11 minutes of training on the week. That includes a walk too. And TSS, now take this into account, iLog. I don't really think TSS matters too much because it depends how you track it. But we have, I'll be right around 440 TSS with the ride. So take that for what it's worth. And that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy this one. And we'll catch you next week, hopefully, if all things go well, for the second week. Yeah, so we are 15 weeks out from Ironman Texas. So it'll be week 2 of 14 or 15 in the Ironman Texas build. Yeah, with the cold. Hopefully next week I won't have a cold either.